Hello, Square Enix, developers, whoever works at Gumi America or Alim or whoever is relevant to speak to about this. I've been a fan of your games for about 5 years now, but after quitting FFB, Wotive is my only Final Fantasy community, and it's going through some trouble right now. And as someone who has loved and has a lot of reasons to love your games, I also have a lot of really heartfelt feedback for you, which I have contained into this video. I hope that you can take it as in the loving way that it is intended, even when I am harsh or critical about your mistakes. I understand that you may be a small development team and you may work very long hours to do even what you do, and I'm probably more forgiving than most because of that. But at the same time, there are a lot of issues that the community really wants to see addressed, and we aren't always sure how to reach out to you. So I'm at least hoping this video can do that. So I woke up today, made a Wotive video about the Alpha Wall situation after seeing it come up in the news in the game, and my thoughts about maybe doing a pull strike. I want to clarify and also make a video for people who didn't watch that video because they got turned off really early on. I don't necessarily want to do a strike, but if we were to do a strike, let's talk about in this video the issues that I think FFBE could fix the most. And in that video at the very end, I say that, for branding reasons, you should have a small list of demands, preferably only about 3 or 4. So here are the 3 or 4 I suggest in that video. Do something about 100 cost, 90 cost VC drop rates. Number 2, fix the Alpha Wall, get the Viz back, and compensate all of us for our issues. Which, as I explained in that video, I have faith Gumi will do, so it's not really an issue. Let's forget that's number 2 for this video. So let's say number 2 is give us better UI. Better. Look, this game, my experience of this game would be so much better with sliders. Give me a slider in barracks. Because of the fact that it has to load every time I give my boys a Chocobo confection, I probably tap the screen between 3 accounts at least 600 to 1,000 times a day to fill my barracks. I mean, technically, I only need to tap it about 100, but I'm probably tapping it anxiously 5 times while it's loading the last 3,000 experience that I put in my barracks. There are so many other situations in this game that would be fixed with that same problem. And while we're at it, the thing that you did to the friend gift, friend medal thing, that one button that does everything, do that for guild. Do that for more things. Give me a slider in building my guild statues. Don't make me just let me do 3. Or make it an option, give me a checkbox that I can hit that just automatically does 3. That maxes it out on whatever that is. Just give me that checkbox. Don't put it on the Viz one though, please don't. Oh my god, I will accidentally click that and spend a lot of Viz leveling up my statues. Although, sneaky Gumi dev that's listening to this, absolutely do that. It is a very predatory way to take advantage of your customer base, and it would probably make you some money from people who otherwise wouldn't be spending their Viz. God, that got dark. Okay, number 3.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is the Doctor. It's another beautiful day out here in the Pacific Northwest. We have been getting a boatload of tickets, and I believe, I already did my daily. So we're going to do all 3 of the summon tickets. So if you guys didn't know, we do get summon tickets from the normal daily rewards right now. So let's go ahead and pop them, see what we get. You never want to see it start off brown. You never want to see it start off brown. My mom says aloha to YouTube again. We're hoping for an upgrade here. Anything would be good. Anything would be good. I don't think it's going to happen. That's okay.
Give us more ways to get select, unit, or VC tickets. FFBE did this better. And this one I definitely feel like I need to explain. So in the Neovision meta, there were Neovision shard tickets or something like that. And I think if you got 5 or maybe 10 of them, you could trade them in or something for a ticket, or it costs 10 tickets to get a unit. But basically, you could get any Neovision, which was the highest tier. Any Neovision unit, so in this game it would be like any UR unit. With the exception of ones that have been released within like... I think it was literally if they were on banner. When they fell off banner, you could unit of choice them. And this gave players a way to save up for a unit that they really want without Viz. And usually these were achievable. I mean, okay, one of the reasons that this was probably easier to do in FFBE than it would be in this game is FFBE is a PvE game and this is a PvP game. They could wall these tickets that you had to collect behind really hard content that you probably had to pull good units for. So it kind of worked out for them. It's probably harder to wall these things for a PvP based game without just giving the people who are already dominating in PvP more unit of choice tickets. So, you know, we would need like, this would be good as a nightmare challenge reward. Maybe not a clear all missions reward, but like, tell me if I can hit like a 8 chain. I can get one of 10 select unit tickets, right? So after I do 10 nightmares and build 10 8 chains, I can go into a UI and get any unit I want that is not on banner. That's what I want. For one. But also...
What's this? A Neo banner? 13,000 Lapis for Neovision units, Super Trust Mugo tickets, and a Transcension Pearl. But what are the drop rates? Is Legendary Hero Ceph... Oh, okay. Currently nothing going on. How could you put that under newest banner?
If for whatever reason that system that you, Gumi, have already used in FFBE, you know how this works. Just implement it here. If not that, the other thing that I liked more about FFBE than Wotive is that I could get by on grinding through a lot of content as a player and getting a lot of the mission rewards, because again, it was a PvE based game, so if you were good at the PvE content, you could get some really good rewards, and that was kind of your way of effort whaling into the game. And you could get so many tickets that often I didn't pull for NBs, I just spammed tickets. Now, Gumi, you understand that this doesn't hurt your bottom line because again, you kind of doubled down into this strategy during the Neovision era. I mean, I guess the people who are really going hard on paying for this either aren't taking the time to like grind out all of those extra tickets, so they're just paying for them, or paying for, you know, pulls, or those pulls for most people, in the quantities that most people got those tickets, weren't impactful enough of the time to actually inhibit sales on banner. You have done this financially successfully in another game, and honestly I'd like to see you do it here. One thing, if any Gumi Square devs are listening to this video, and I am making this maybe even more specifically for you, other than just kind of getting the community unified in our message on what this game needs to improve, I give you a lot of credit in some of my videos called Gumi Economics for the way that you balance the intricate economies of these worlds. Even when it comes to awakening materials, honestly, I'm probably more charitable to you than most YouTubers are on this situation, especially when it comes to awakening materials, because I have faith that you'll give us an option as free to plays after a couple months. You'll make it easier. But I do want to point out that with Mega Crysts, raids, raid revivals, and UR equipment, while most of the other currencies that I'm concerned about in this game, I could Scrooge McDuck in my adamantite after maxing out every piece of equipment that I could possibly build. I have that much adamantite. It is genuinely ridiculous. Books, a lot of the UR resources, a lot of the EX resources, I have stacks of over 10,000 of, all of them. Jesus Christ, though, just give me like a Mega Chris Select ticket or something. Like, give me some of the options you gave me for all of these other currencies for Mega Crysts, or at least, I think they're 500 medals, make them 200, make them 100. Just because, look, even as a dedicated player to this game, let me tell you, raids, while they are incredibly rewarding and while I do them heavily, even as probably your biggest supporter and the person who appreciates the value of these raids the most, they're a fucking grind, especially if I am requiring Mega Crysts. And here's the other thing, there's a bunch of different types of Mega Crysts, and each raid revival usually only features 1 or 2, while theoretically letting you build armors that can require maybe all 8 of them. So, you know, maybe you could do a better job, perhaps, of making sure that each raid revival has each type of Mega Cryst. Maybe you could have the raid bosses start dropping one of 2 different types at the same rates. Maybe you could increase the drop rates. Maybe you could decrease the cost of them in the coin shop. Maybe you could make select tickets for them for like 300 or something. I mean, there's so many options, and honestly, you should look at that like a buffet. Don't just do one of those things. I would probably be happier if you took every one of those suggestions and kinda half-assed them and made it work. Just give me a lot of options to help me out on this, and really, Mega Crysts are one of the things that are really being a pain.
Hello, welcome, Cabbage here. In War of the Visions, I had a look at the Chamber of Arms, the new game mode in JP, and although it's not a bad mode, and the JP community seems to generally like it, it is not what I want according to what I recently laid out in my PvE I Want to See video, so I'm announcing I'm quitting the game. Not right away, however. There are a few more videos I want to make, including a clear of the Chamber of Arms first, and then a review of the equipment, like the Genji Glove and the Blood Sword. I also want to make a video talking about early JP user impressions of the Dream upgrade, and specifically what kind of effect or influence it is having on the different modes of PvP.
Also, the other thing, Reincarnation, when it comes out here, please do not require us to make as many rolls as you did JP, and yeah, that's probably something you should roll back for JP too.
I wanted to do this before the live stream, which is going to be in about 24 hours. I should have done this a few days ago, but oh well. And if you have not watched the pinned video, which I'll put down below, where I go over the Dream upgrades, please watch that first. I still see some confusion about the difference between taking a unit to 140 the first time, and then resetting beyond that, potentially 80 times.
Make Max Awakening stats in 140 easier. Everybody hates how much of a grind that is. I have made several videos defending the Dream system. I'm a big fan of it. I'm excited for it as a player. So, as the person who likes this system probably the most within the community right now, even I fucking hate how many repeats it will take me to max my stats. Fix it before it comes to global, and fix it for JP now. Just, whatever you're doing, whatever you think you're doing, stop. Because, just, please, let me give you advice, okay? Because really, honestly, at the end of the day, I enjoy playing this game. I will probably still continue to enjoy playing this game, even if you don't fix those things. Oh, wait, whoa. I remembered my last complaint. I remembered why I kicked Offerwall off of the complaints list, because Gumi, devs, I understand you're on it, okay? Don't let me down. The thing I slid that out for is story content and maps. Like, you did it very sparingly in FFBE, where there would be explorational maps, maybe for each new area, or like a town, and really basic. Like, honestly, if I'm being completely honest, the level design for the maps and exploration content in FFBE was generally kinda low. It was not great. There was actually some really interesting content that you released this way, and the art was sometimes amazing. Bring that to WOTF a little bit more. please, let us control a character, tap them around a screen, run them around just like we did in FFBE. Give us maps we can explore. Give us treasure chests we can open and search for. It's a thing that every other Final Fantasy game has. Just do it here. Give us towns where we can buy, look, at this point in the game, let us buy up to, say, super rarity equipment at a +5 or +6. Maybe even in Gil. If you're doing it in Gil, probably a +5. Make us +6 it ourselves. The resources are easy if you want to do this. For everything in the game, SR and lower. Just make that purchasable in a shop, on a map, in a town. Let me walk around the town surrounding Leona's castle, if nothing else. If you add one thing to the game in terms of maps, let me explore around Leona's castle and give me a couple shops that can sell me super basic equipment that's probably not relevant for anyone, but would still be useful to buy for a brand new player, I guess. And also, I mean, make that available pretty early on. Don't make that something that I have to unlock by getting through the first chapter of the story. This is going to be really great for new players. Also, whatever you're doing for new players isn't emphasizing Lucio enough. I don't know what you should do about that, but I think if more new players came into this game realizing that they could build Lucio pretty much for free to 120, they would do it, and they would have a drastically more fun experience of the game for it. And I know it's technically possible, but I don't know. Give them an extra banner that shows up, pops up, annoys the shit out of them, reminding them that even they can get their Lucio to 120, and maybe even looking back over Lucio's missions from 2023 and looking back on the missions that gave me trouble, I want to say, yes, it is definitely possible to build him very easily if you get 10 of his Mind Spheres from the barracks, and if you skip one of the mission clears entirely. And that is going to be in his 20th mission, Duty Calls, a mission that is so poorly designed that doing it the right way without cheating. And you can cheat now because you can go past that and go into the later missions, because unless they unlock progressively. I should ask a newbie about this, actually. But if they don't unlock progressively, you can just go into the next mission, the next series of missions, and get some easy Mind Spheres, and then never worry about getting 3 kills on this mission. But if you actually do have to, and if you actually, the best strategy, and I'll explain it quickly because it takes 7 minutes, and I'm doing a whole separate video explaining why this is probably the most catastrophically bad game design I've ever seen in my life, if it is a requirement to level this kid up. Because your best option is to kill both of your allies as soon as possible, get into a large area, and then wait for a very long time, hoping that you survive with only barely the ability to heal yourself, and just waiting for people to line up 3 in a row. Because you don't even have a cross AoE at this point in the game. That hasn't unlocked yet. You also haven't unlocked your diamond AoE yet. 120 Lucio can body this mission, for sure. Probably even 115 Lucio can body this mission. But 107 Lucio is screwed. So again, you may be able to bypass that by just skipping that mission and going to a whole later thing to get your extra Mind Spheres, and then coming back to it later when you have better AoE options. But if you can't progress past that and can't get past that level, this is a catastrophic game design failure that will ruin the game for new players, in at least their experience of Lucio, which I think is crucial to new players moving into the future. Just make those easier so that any new player, because I guarantee you, especially the meta that we're going to go into, a dream, reincarnation, transcendence, whatever you're going to call it for global. If we go into that system and players aren't aware that they can do that with Lucio, they will have a terrible, terrible experience. So I think advertising that to new players more and encouraging them to take advantage of it, and encouraging him that he will be a relevant unit and he will continue to be a relevant unit, I think that would go a long way for you in terms of new player retention. The other thing that you should know, Gumi, is that other than my video on explaining the economics within your game, my most popular YouTube upload before even trying to advertise off of even Discord was about the fact that collaboration units don't get updated fast enough, and therefore all of our favorite Final Fantasy units age really poorly into the game compared to other units. This is definitely a fixable problem, and I think that the biggest and easiest way to fix it is to disconnect them getting their 140s from rerunning the collaboration. You're just going to have to rerun too many collaborations for that. If you want to add a new character to the collaboration, like say we get Red 13 would be really awesome in some future Final Fantasy VII, right? Then you rerun it. If you are not giving us Red 13, or, you know, another Final Fantasy VII unit, though really, give us Red 13. That would be really cool. That would be really cool of you, Gumi. Also, Valentine could be interesting. Vincent Valentine might be nice. Whatever. Anyways, Gumi, what I'm saying here is you have to be willing to give those characters 140s without rerunning their collaboration. I think that's the only way that that's going to be manageable. And this allows you so much more time in your schedule to be able to plot new collaborations. Because there's so many Final Fantasy games we haven't even gotten into yet. There are segments of the Final Fantasy fan base that are completely unserved by this game. I mean, I'm sure they're a very small fan base, but the game I would most likely see added is Final Fantasy Type 0. And go hard. Give me a couple MR units. Shit, give me an SR Deuce for all I care. Give me like 5 units from that collaboration though, all at the same time, please. Final Fantasy Type 0. Put it on your priorities list. Maybe that's number 6. But with that, this video has gotten too long, for sure. So, short list of demands. We'll just keep it at that. Because you know this, and I know this. You bringing Cloud and Sephiroth back into the meta at the same time is going to bring in a ton of new players. It's up to you to decide if they stick around to play the game, though. And if you can take even some of this advice, they might do it.